Yep. I see you out there, expert. Yeah. I see you out there. Hold on. I lost my music. I'm gonna replay it. Yeah, but that's the. You'll understand. Yeah, I know. Let me write this to you. I want to interrupt my music. Yep. Yep. So my prayer song and everything this not trying to work today. I don't know what it is. I keep getting this power loss, but that's all right. That's all right. I can't keep replaying it, but we're gonna get there. So not gonna worry about it that much today. But we'll get back to it. Maybe I'll play it at the end or something like that. Yeah, that might work. Maybe I'll play it at the end. Something like that. So we can get it going. Yeah. Anyway, you know what it is. Yep. Eagles way up, baby. Eagles way up in here. Up in this piece. Up in the place, man. Up in the chat. Yeah. The subject, a lot of times, see what happens is I put up these titles, and right away people will take it a certain way. When they see it, they're like, oh wait, that's not what it is. But that's almost like a hook. It's like just getting your attention to start the discussion. But the discussion is always going to be something. It's going to be a legitimate discussion. That's the whole thing with me. It's always going to be something legitimate, and you have to pay attention to what Just like the other day when I was talking about the uses or the users or the uses of boxing, and that I paralleled that with the this whole situation, that we're going through in the United States and some say across the world. I'm not across the world, so I really don't know, what kind of setup this is, So Wilder, Wilder still has fans. I got people in here that come in here, and a lot of people come in here, and I know that you guys say certain stuff about Wilder. I don't throw you out or nothing like that because you're a grown man, grown woman. Everybody has their opinion, and I'm always allowed my opine because a lot of times, even in this small chat, they stop so many of my streams, or they shut me down, but then they realize what I'm saying is just freedom of speech and it's good talk. But a lot of times they just disrespectful. So they just, what is he talking about? I don't like his title, so he says something, Taliban or what? What kind of title has he got? Hey, your words, or somebody's words. Like if a promoter says that we're going to have a fight in Saudi Arabia, if I put up Saudi Arabia, then there's no need for you going crazy. You see what I mean? And if I mention it, that don't mean that I'm rooting for Saudi Arabia. I see you down there, Gil, to the Coles. Gil Coles. Yeah, what's up, Eagles? What's up to Gil? Salute to Gil out there. Yep. Yeah, you wasn't first day expert genius. He said he seen something. He's like, wait, I see something. But yeah, Gil gets messed up with the titles too. See, a lot of times that's what happened. Even my web, the people that's in here all the time, they get messed up with titles sometimes. Like, oh wait, what are you trying to say, Eagle? But you have to, it's gonna be legit. You understand what I mean? It's gonna be legit. But what happens is I'm just like, instead of, I didn't put a question mark. A lot of times I put a question mark because it said boxing. It said boxing. It said Wilder is out. Fury Joshua in. And see, I don't put stuff like really. What I'm saying? It's just like people say, wait a minute. Wilder's gonna fight. You know what I mean? They talking about 20. See, I understand that. So they're talking about some time. It's not written in stone yet. Nothing like that. They're well wishing right now. But my whole thing is I want to talk about the whole thing though. I want to talk about the disrespect though, because it's disrespectful for me and the way that I'm seeing it. I'm just seeing it as being disrespect. And see that even that title, the way I title stuff, sometimes that draws people in too. They're like, wait a minute, Eagle, what you trying to say, man? They want to fight. We're going to knock Eagle out. Everybody want to beat me up, man. Yeah. Ain't no easy win. Yeah, ain't no easy win. Look at me. He an easy win. No. You ain't no EW here, baby. Yeah, I'm just messing. I'm fixing something. I gotta make sure I always gotta look good, man. I always gotta see. Gotta make sure these is on right. Make sure everything's tight. So you see. Yeah. Just gotta make sure I'm tight though. Yeah. But that's the whole disrespect and see the discussion is that who else has that sentiment about Wilder? And that's the thing though. Who else is thinking that way about Wilder? Because people think that way. Now, I just want to bring it out and I want to get it out because I know you guys, a lot of times people will hold stuff in and they don't want to let it out. I'm not going to just chop you or have somebody chop you because you come in here and you let it out. Or a lot of times people come to the defense. And that's what I want. If you want to come to the defense, because that's why anytime you have any kind of a debate or discussion, there's going to be different sides. Usually there's pros and there's cons. But when it's open forum like this, it's just everywhere. It's not just pros and cons. Because we got to have evidence and we got to have reasons. And so we got to look at the reasons and we got to realize, is in fact we on that train again, the devil's deception. It might not be in the desert, but it's the devil's deception in boxing. And what kind of a setup might this be? Yeah, I see down the expert genius. He said, yeah, I admit I took away, he said, took it away without seeing what the combo was. Yeah, that's why I like to put it up like that. So people come in and they think one way, wait a minute, what is Eagle talking about today? He wrong this time. Yeah, they want me to be wrong. Yeah. But I lose. But what that's how I usually I build because I use I use your argument against you. You give me the evidence. I don't need nothing because I let you pile it up yourself. I let your mouth get you in trouble. See, the last person that speaks wins. And once you get hushed up a little bit, that means the other person won. Like it does, and it's not no bad thing to take a L because it's just all discussions. So it's not really taking an L. You know what I mean? But anyway, as far as on me, I'm doing a little bit better, y'all. The ones of y'all that's concerned a little bit, yeah, I'm starting to walk a little bit better. Little bit by little bit. Like I said, I had this one little plateau again. I jumped down. I dropped down as far as the pain wise and everything. So got a little bit better. So that this is probably going to take a while for it to drop down again, and then we'll drop down again, and before you know it, Eagles back. You know, back to running, chasing. Not really. I don't do all that chasing, man. And plus, they killed my whole year, man. My whole autograph year and all that. My whole celebrity. They killed this whole year, man. Because us natives decide that we just not gonna do anything until probably the fall. Because last time I took you guys over, it's just a sacred ceremony, so I can't get you guys all the way up on the hill. But maybe the trip, maybe I can do some interviews or something this year when I go across the ocean. Maybe I can do some interviews, so we can get some interviews going and with the natives and stuff, and see what their perspective is on things. And I'm not even gonna bring up this crap that's going on now because everybody knows what I feel about this, as far as this COVID thing. Oh, well, Floyd been down before that too, though. Floyd went down early in his career, but it was like something like a flash knockdown or something. He has been down. I'll just mess with y'all sometime, but that one wasn't really legit. I'm just saying his first one was the first one of his career. It was that, you know what I mean. But I see you down there. He said Eagles will take L's too. I say I take an L far as a round or something. I mean, I don't win every round. But as far as the fight is concerned, I'm undefeated in fights. But as far as rounds, I can lose a round. Sometimes you give a round away. Sometimes you give a round, which you got to understand, you give a round away to see what a person's going to do. You see what I mean? Sometimes it's a setup. I do that in life. I'm kind of a gambler. And I have a certain game that I play. And sometimes I give some away. Like I give it away. But if you look at it, when I give it away, that's all I do. I'm giving it away to get somebody else excited. You know what I mean? And this is it's one of the oldest tricks in the book. And they call it, it has different names to it. I'm not going to just go out on the names. So one for cars, if they get you excited about a car or something like that, or something that you want to buy, they call that one bait and switch. So you think that you're going for one thing, it's a great deal, and then that one's actually gone or something like that, but they got another better deal for you, which is not really a better deal, it's a worse deal, and it's even more money, see? But see, sometimes this is what you do. So sometimes you got to give, let me give this to him. Yeah, he getting happy. You look at your eyes, see, Gil, you get happy, you got to win or something, your eyes getting big, like, oh, I know I can get him now, see? That's all the hype. So now you all hyped up, and you think you got it like that. Oh, I got it, man, I got this. I got this, so you think you got it. But you don't have it. You don't have it, but you think you got it. And so that setup come up, and that's it. Yeah. But I didn't even know if I read this. An expert genius said, yeah, Eagles wear boxer. Yes, that's straight disrespectful. Yeah, that's straight disrespectful. We're going to get into it. We'll get on their ass. You know how we do. That's how we do. We get them. And here we go for we go for all the meat. See, some people go for the white meat. We go for all I don't care. We go for the green. You got green meat on you, we going for that too. Red meat, brown, whatever it is. White, yellow, whatever kind of meat you got on you, we going for that. We ain't trying to, we didn't just not going skull cracking. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you can make a mistake when you crack skulls, you know what I mean? That's how, we got people that do that already. And they end up making mistakes. They just, they go straight for the chokehold or straight for the cracking of the skull. Sometimes you got to soften people up in other ways. And that's one I wanted to talk, and I'm going to talk about that too. I'm going to talk about the Shakur fight a little bit. Of course, where he's got to have a couple of subjects, but then, People come in like expert. I haven't seen him in a long time. He finally comes in. Well, I'm not gonna say a long time. Sometimes you playing, he do his game playing. I go in there check him out. I think what, last month or something like that. You was doing some gameplay. I think I was in there running my mouth. Watching what you do. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, he laughing out loud. Then he said, White and Usyk should feel disrespected too. They are out for real. This just shows how boxing fans are hypocrites. They said, what happened to the 600 days? Yeah, but that 600 days turned into more days than that. But then after that 600 days, if you flip it, you remember that now 600 days, and now they flip it, it was some more days. Well, he's worried about days that is going to support him. You understand? That was the whole thing. That was for his case. That's why he brought up the 600 days, because that's for his case. But the thing about it is, you're talking about for your case. Well, what about it against you though? What about your samples? We want samples. We want samples, and we want to see what the hell those samples consisted of. Forget your days, because your days protect you. That make you look good. Oh yeah, I've been sitting back waiting for this and that. Shut your ass up, because you ain't gonna do nothing but get your dusty donut lip ass roasted up in here. You come because if I gotta talk about you, I'm gonna talk about you bad anyway. Matter of fact, I'm gonna talk about anybody bad or good, and you may get mercy up in here, or you may not. It depends on what my chat go like. Because sometimes my chat don't want you to have mercy, and if they get you, then I'm probably gonna get you too. Because a lot of times I stay out of their conversation. I let them have their conversation. But if they're going to involve me, if they put my name up there, then, hey, once they put my name up, then I'm in it. Because they're going to ask Eagle, well, what you think about it? See, now they got me in it. Because I let y'all handle all that by yourself out there. Y'all handle most of that stuff yourself. And I try my best to get everything, read. I try to get everything read. But for you, old dusty powdered lip donut boy, don't be bringing up no 600, 800 days. Don't bring up nothing. Yes, you're going to flip it. Because there's two sides to that coin. It's your side, which is, the side that helps you out and puts you up on crown status, like, oh, I'm the shit now. And it's the other side. It's the other side where you dirty. You practice dirt. See? And what happens is a lot of these fighters, they practice this dirt, and they practice the dirt, and they get people that's, don't you know you got people that's great at stuff like that? They're great. Okay, so I take you back. And so before, and this is straight knowledge right here. But before, like if somebody had to, and I see you down there, eat to the wood now, I'm going to get to you. So back in the day, when somebody had to take a urine sample, so if I'm dirty, this is what happens. So if I'm a dirt ass, right? So since I'm dirty, this is what I do. I get one of my boys to take my urine for me, because you didn't have the peeping Tom that was in there watching you do your urine, right? But then how they found out, this is true. This is how they found out that somebody else was doing the urine, or you doing the urine at home, is it the urine, because you're supposed to do the urine right there, right? So the urine was cold. See, if the urine's cold, then they know something's up. Like somebody just using water or something like that, or somebody and they even get inventive, and this is facts too, and they wear like a bag on their body, with little holes attached to it, right? And it's somebody else's urine, but they wearing that on their body in a little, like, say for instance, a little pouch at your waist or whatever, and they go to the bathroom, they just pull out that little holes while they're going, because they ain't gonna look, they looking at you go to the bathroom, but they ain't staring all up over it. They don't have the camera like, point down at your junk or nothing like that. You know what I mean? And that's the way that they got away with it. So now it's harder and harder. But you got these people that that's all they do is sit down and find out how they can beat stuff. You see what I mean? That's all they do is they sit down and they think, oh, how can we beat this new test? Or what can we take? Like, I want to mix these drugs up. So if I mix these drugs out, you see what I mean? If I mix these up, I make a special cocktail. And they've always been making these cocktails. I make a special cocktail so now you can't tell if what I had. Of course I'm dirty. I got all kind of dirt in my system, but I mix this cocktail up and it's okay. And sometimes the cocktails work. They're not 100%. They might be even 90%, but you might be that fool that you might be that 10% that shit don't work on. Then they catch you like, oh, what is this doing up in here? It's a small percent, but it's just like, it's odd because the strain of it is from here. It's not from something else. Like you can tell, so like chemicals go through meat or so they go through a certain process, then they could tell where it came from. But if it was injected or something like that, or taken orally from a supplement, then they'll get your ass. So that powdered lips, powdered donut lips, shut your ass up. Shut your ass up, because I'm just waiting to be able to get your ass in here to fry the shit out you. But right now I just don't have that chance, but I will. Don't worry about it. Everybody slips ups. Everybody get them slips up. But anyway, let me hit him. Eat wood in the house. Eat wood. Shit. That's something there. He said, something there, eagle. He got the eagle up good. Man, got the web up good. He said, he up in here. He ain't crying yet. He ain't complaining. He ain't cussing right now. But I know him. And let me go back up because I know I missed something. Eagles web. Take L's too. Okay, yeah, I ain't thinking about that. Play the flute. And then Gil. Okay, the expert genius again. He said it wasn't Floyd's first knockdown because he hurt his hand. No, he actually did get knocked out. It was early. That's when he was Pretty Boy. He did. I forget exactly who the fighter was. Yeah, but he went down. It's none of he's never been down like clean. Like he's never suffered like Pacquiao or knocked down. He's never got hit. A knockdown to me, see, you could touch the floor or something like that, but if you take a hard ass body shot like bam, and you touch the floor, that's a legitimate knockdown. Or if you get hit in the face, boom. I'll show you right now what's a legitimate knockdown. I'm gonna show you to sit your ass down, Larry Holmes, because I don't know if you've seen this before, but we put this up, and that's what we usually say when you come up in Eagles Web boxing. It's no disrespect meant by it, but it's mean get your ass in here and sit your ass down. It don't matter if you're sitting down in your car, or you're sitting down at home, but sit your ass down and enjoy the content. So we get into this boxing, man. But that's it right there, expert genius right there. That's the sit your ass down. Sit your ass down. Now that's the sit your ass down. That's a knockdown. When somebody gets you with the sit your ass down, if you down and just right back up, you might have been your foot, it's probably your balance was off at a time. If you go down, you can tell when somebody go down real quick and they right back up, you can tell that, a lot of times it's just the balance or something like that. But this is the Larry Holmes, sit your ass down. And I see Shadow 979 up in here. Don't think I didn't see you. I see you up in here, brother. Shadow 979. Anyway, salute out to Shadow 9. He already deleting stuff, but let me catch up with y'all. Gil Coles, the Eagles will okay, yeah, I got that. The expert genius. Give a round to take some rounds. There you go. Sometimes you got to give, because a lot that's smart. That's what they call boxing IQ. A lot of times to see people. A lot of idiots will say, "Oh, he won every round," but no. A lot of times you don't want to. If you can just whitewash somebody and they not doing nothing, but sometimes I want to see. You want to see what if they have anything. So it's not as boring. You can give away one. If you ain't knocking them out, what's the difference if you give away one round? It's a big deal. What's the difference? 120, what? 108. 119, 109. What's the difference? No big deal. Just see if they got anything. You know what I mean? And I'm down here, and Expert Genius says facts, and the Expert Genius, he said, this is my first time in a while getting notifications. Oh, that you were doing the live YouTube on that board. Yeah. And see, this is what I heard about that, is that you got to hit the bell to where you take off the notifications, clear it out and stuff. And then you hit it again and you put back to get the notifications. Right now I'm on that COVID schedule, and it kind of worked out because Eagle got injured. So yeah, that one kind of worked out. So I'm doing like Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And yes, these guys get me in there, because they knew I should have been out. I told them, then my family told me not to do it. And then I get people like Gil say, you tell your family come see me, that you need to be up in here doing your show. So I said, and then plus I told my family, I said, yeah, I got to do the show. I said, my people is going to be talking bad about me. They're going to be saying that I got a paper cut, or they're going to be saying all kind of foul stuff. They're going to be leaving comments. Oh, he got a paper cut. You got to be burnt yourself on something or anything, but so I had to get myself up in here. Yep. Yeah, that's right. E Wood shouting out. Okay, E Wood still good. Love up. Oh, that's right. Y'all salute him out on Saturday night. Salute. Okay, all right, salute him out. He said salute the Eagles way of boxing. Got the eagle up good. He got the web up good like you supposed to. He got the glove up good. Then he took something away. Then everybody shouting everybody else out. Shadow, the E Wood, expert genius. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. See, expert genius got it. That's exactly what it is. Have you seen? I don't need to even see it, man, because I know what that is. See, I know, and that's what because they done that, and they've been doing that like for like powerlifting and stuff. They've done that. In wrestling, they don't care. Professional wrestling, they don't really care. They act like they do. They don't care until your ass starts shriveling up and about to die. Then they act like, oh yeah, well, and they still really not gonna do nothing because that's more entertainment than sports. And so, I know that's what it is. So y'all can get mad at me if you want to, WWE fans. I used to be a fan too, because I just like the outrageous shit. I'm sorry, and I like to see all that power. And it's like for me, it's just crazy, especially when you lift somebody that 400 pounds up over your head and stuff. You know you got to be taking something to lift somebody up that's 400 pounds and slam them like it ain't. God dang, man. So it's wild, but it's entertaining, especially if you got kids. Yeah. But that catheter, that's what I was talking about on that one where you put that bag and see, a lot of times they don't got to inject it, but what they're going to do, they're going to have to get perverted, more or less. Not perverted, but it's going to seem like it, is they're just going to have to watch them completely. They're just going to have to watch them. You know what I mean? They just going to have to watch them, and they're going to have to watch them, and it's not that good. But they're going to have to watch them, Or you're going to make them go in there. That's what they're going to have to make them go in there with shorts on. And I'm talking about like your undershorts. They're going to have to make them go in there with the undershorts so there's nothing sticking out and nothing like that. If they don't watch them, they'll make it. Hey, from now you guys have to do it with your shorts on and then give them a bag or something and then have the collection thing attached to the bag. So that way even if I don't watch you, I know that it's nothing you can't, flip something up. You can't flip it up and trick me. You know what I mean? Because it's actually these things are so powerful now, they're like weapons. It's like weapons. Can you imagine if that was done with animals? Just think about it. You got two, and I'm telling you, some of the hardest hitting animals that are small, like rams, you got one. To think about, you have one ram that's on that steroids, his horns is thicker, and he's like 10 times stronger than the other ram, and they go to butt heads. He's killing every ram. He's gonna kill all of them, and they got major cushion. If you don't believe me, look at the ram. Look at this one. It's a ram. I'm not. This ain't no BS. On YouTube, is a ram that actually knocks a cow's ass out. They went horn for horn, and that little ram, he knocked that cow's big ass out. Poof. So size don't matter sometimes. Steroids might matter. But it don't work. Okay, there you go. See, I told you what I told you. I told you what E Wood was gonna do. Look at E Wood. E Wood said, "I'm at work, but it's slow." And then like the frown face. He had to go from different. He got to go through all 4 stages, right? His lips start to turn down, and then he get that frown on his face. Then he's steaming, and then he go to the cuss. He got to be cussing. But you slow, baby. Don't worry about it. You good. That's right. He would sit your ass down jab. That's the Larry Holmes sit your ass down jab. Yeah, but let's get over to it. Before we'll do the breakdown. Can I have a sip? I'm gonna have a sip of tea, y'all. Have a sip of my little Damiana. This Damiana and burdock. This is a tea for men and women, not kids. That particular one right there. Yeah, but the whole disrespect here, over, and that's what I'm looking at it. I'm just going to call it what it is. Gil, you just stupid. Shut your ass up. Sit your ass down, Gil. Gil say I'm that juiced up ram. That damn Gil. Yeah, but check it. If y'all get a chance, man, you're going to laugh, though. Just try to find this search it. You'll find it, and you're going to laugh, but you're going to shake your head, though. The reason you're going to shake your head is because of the size difference. And you just not going to, it's not going to be something that you're going to be like, hell, that can't, really? You said, I ain't messing with, because you ain't messing with no ram. A ram will knock your shit out. They just letting you know that a ram will knock your ass out. He knocked the bull out. So I'm going on the offensive right here. I'm going on the defensive. I'm going everywhere on this because here's my thoughts on this whole thing. And see, the zone to me is insignificant, and they're trying their best to get the best fights, the biggest fights that they feel that they can make winners out of it. And let's start there. Because you want a winning fight, right? And so you get two fighters that you get one that can punch, but he's not really that good of a boxer. And you got one that's a good boxer, but he's dirty and a cheat, which you didn't know all that. At first, none of us knew he cheated as much, except for one of the refs back in the day had already said that he was the dirtiest fighter that he ever seen. Did y'all hear that interview? But anyway, so you're dirty. And see, this is why they do it. Because if those two fight, it's kind of it could be a 50-50. And it's probably not going to be a knockout because Joshua just won't be able to catch Fury to knock him out. And Fury just don't have the power if he's not cheating. You know, and AJ he's learned how to run. So the reason they do that is because how many fights did they want? They wanted 2 fights, right? So they'll be able to get 2 fights. Now think about it. If you eliminate Wilder, don't even talk about Wilder. Don't even put him into that equation. And we'll talk. Let's add that in there too, though, because then you might not have those 2 entertaining fights. So Wilder goes in there with AJ and just smashes the shit out of AJ. Do we really need to see the next one? Because now Wilder's used to him. Do we need to see the next fight? Do we need to see another one? Let's see another one. No, we don't need to see another one because another one is going to be the same damn thing. If somebody's getting their damn block knocked completely off, and that's going to be AJ. So that's the reason they do that. But the disrespect, we haven't got to the disrespect because I want to talk about something that could be positive with it. They can make more money and make more fights. So why don't you, instead of having an eliminator, because they're champions, more or less, right? So instead of having an eliminator, why don't you big all of them up? You see what I mean? So you big the big 3 in the heavyweight boxing. The big 3 in heavyweight boxing. Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, and Tyson Fury. And do a promo like that. Who will remain or become the main king in the heavyweight division? And let them square off. And let them fight as they have to fight to determine who is the king of the kings. See? Don't you think that would bring in more money for that promotion? We don't care about their money, but won't they bring in more? Because now you got Wilder's people, you got us, you got Joshua's people, and you got Fury's people. And then you bring in a group of other ones that were never involved with boxing. And that's the whole thing. Because we don't know if boxing is more or less dead. Because, I mean, it's damn sure took a big shot like everything else. Just like when in the fight, your corner man's got mask on and, you know, there's really nobody in the audience. You fighting in a bubble. You fighting in what they call the bubble. And it's like, come on, what kind of look really is that going into our boxing future? Will that be something that they do like some fights? And some fights they don't do that? But it was actually, it's a good experience for Stevenson, but we haven't got there yet. So let's finish this part up. So I was just saying that to let y'all know. So if we have that kind of promotion, and the reason I'm talking like that, because I'm in promotion. So if we have that kind of promotions, think about it. We have that kind of promotions, then everybody should be satisfied with that. Win, lose, or draw. Because if you got all 3 of those guys talking like, yeah, man, we're going to go and we're going to make this money. We're going to fight each other, see who the champ is behind closed doors. That's how they talking to each other. Man, but the whole thing is we all going to have fun. We're going to make money. Regardless of what happened, man. The best man win. You know what I mean? We don't need to belittle each other. Just go out there. We can play the bad guy, good guy stuff, but let's go out there. Because the thing is, those heavyweight fighters need to generate a lot more money than a lot of these other fighters because they probably will be Alzheimer's or whatever else. They're going to have all kinds of issues and stuff from taking those kind of punches from those bigger guys later on in life. And there's no boxing retirement plan. So they need to get as much as they can out of little guys. Some of the little guys, not so much. A lot of little guys, once they take a knockout, that's it. They just quit. Oh, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? Because usually little guys are just separated by, so you got one that's just too heavy of a puncher. But then what happens to him after a while when he gets caught up, when he can't put this one guy out because he can't land the clean shots. Okay, so that's the one part. But the second part is the actual part, is that you guys are, what the hell are you doing? Is it for the reason I said, that you're going to sit there, you're going to disrespect Deontay Wilder? Does anybody agree with the disrespect? Has anybody in the chat, has anybody who's in this room right now that's talking or not talking or not responding, has anybody just written Wilder off? And they think that the talks are good, that they should have talks like that. They should be talking about Wilder like that. Like they should be looking past him like he don't exist. Does anybody believe that? They should not be looking, they should be looking past Wilder like he don't exist. Because they just a little like because they're making it seem like, oh, there's a slight chance that Wilder will beat Fury. He probably might not, but there's a possibility of slightness. But we're fighting AJ. AJ's going to take White out, which that's what they're saying. I don't care which one of them fight. I'd rather AJ to win because of old powdered donut lips. I don't really care for him. I don't like his personality or nothing like that. I don't like the way that the whole 600. Most people keep it 100, but you're trying to keep it 600. Sit your ass down trying to keep it 600 when that 600 is a fake bill anyway. You flip it over and look what you see on the other side. A and B. Why in the hell did the flip side of your $600 bill got an A and B on it? Huh? We can't even cross them all out. We got to be able to cross the A, B, and C out on there. Because the 600 and the A, B, and C don't go together, right? You got a 600 and the A, B, and C. Huh? But you ain't settled the A, B, C side. And you worried about your 600 side. Shut your half a 600-pound ass down. Shut your ass up. Because once I see you get completely flatlined, I'm going to try to find as many clips and as many photos as I can so I can throw you up in the chat. We're going to throw your whole life up in the air when you come up in here. Because that's what we do up in here. Because Eagles wear boxing where you want the real, not some deal. Because you come up in here, that's what you're going to get. And my web ain't going to play with you. They ain't going to play with you up in here. Because this is adult chat up in here. So we try to we put it on the realistic part. And so like I'm saying, so I don't know if anybody in here has written them off. But if you're going to write them off, then discuss it. But these two going to write them off, and Eddie the Snake is going to try to write somebody off. Because like I said, back to what I was saying, he's trying, because he wants DAZN, he wants DAZN to be, something that comes out of people's mouth. Oh yeah, DAZN, they got good, good programming and stuff. They're off the chain with their programming and stuff. No, get your ass out of here. What it is a American hate. You haven't heard this one yet, huh? It is American hate clout chase is what that is. It's American hate clout chase. That's what you could tell, because a snake is easy to tell, man. So that snake right there, American hate, you see what I mean? That's what it is. It's American hate clout chase for them. And old Feather Pillowfist better try to get past Wilder without the cheapskate. Now they might not have did Glovegate and cheap to the skate, but we did it in here. I did the Glovegate and I did the cheap to the skate. But we're gonna see. Will you be able to do another glove to the gate and cheap to the skate, and are they gonna let you do it? And did Wilder bring somebody into his side that's gonna combat that to where Wilder learns how to do a few little things up in there? You know what I mean? I would like to have Wilder for a little bit. If they could just sneak me in there and let me holler in the champ's ear a little bit, show him, hey, champ, do this, hit him with that. Because the thing is, what people don't understand is you learn a lot of different stuff and a lot of different gems. And just like I was bringing up, and just like I told Gil, me and Gil was talking about, I don't know if it was a week or two ago, Gil, but we was talking about, I said, when a person is hitting somebody on top of their head because of the angle, because of the way they're moving their head, I said, what happens to you after a while? I said, what they're trying to do, they're trying to break your hand. See? and people hitting Wilder behind the head. So that'd be a move for Wilder too. Make you break your damn hand. Make you snap that shit off. And a lot of fighters do that, and I talk about that because during the fight the other day, that actually happened during the fight. That happened to Shakur. He's too young that he's not getting it. He's not getting it. And we're going to talk about that kind of style of fight, and my impressions of that fight. But you three, stop it. Let Wilder get his chance. Let him get back, whoop that ass, and then and then maybe you might be able to do what I said. Because then you still keep the coke crack king, you keep him a little bit significant that way. Because if Wilder go in there, if Wilder smash him up, AJ just gonna cower and shit. He just gonna cower because he a coward. And we don't even get to go deep all the time, because the thing is, when you compare in the past with the present, like I paralleled the life of the Smoke, who is, Jack Johnson, the Smoke, with Muhammad Ali. And also parallel a little bit of Sugar Ray Robinson in there too. But those are the best to put out like a parallel. So who do we have parallel them? Because you got to remember that we keep this in a line, even though we're not talking about lineals champs. We keep this in a line. So if Ali fell right in place and was right parallel with Jack Johnson, who's parallel with Muhammad Ali? And that's what brings people down. That changes an economy in both cases. That changes it. Even if you look at it as being something that's a micro change in the climate, as far as like your own citizenship, and also then it's a macro when it comes to boxing. But who's in the parallel conversation with them? See, Wilder is the parallel to them. And if it wouldn't have been for till this day, then I wouldn't have paralleled him as much, because he's getting the same kind of hate while you sitting over there doing the American hate and our clout chase. That Wilder is that guy that is in the parallel with those two. Because he gets the same kind of hate. Matter of fact, because he gets hate from his own people too. But people will learn to love Wilder or appreciate what Wilder has done. One way or another. If he gets this done or if he doesn't get it done, he's still gonna go down as an American champion. In which we all they always like to post all that up. So he's still gonna go down as that. Yeah. But the juiced up Ram over here. Yeah. Yeah, the guy that ref the Cunningham Fury fight. Fury, the dirtiest fighter I've seen, and I did 3 Galata fights. Damn, did 3 Galata, and Galata is the dirt. When you talk about dirt in boxing, he is one of the dirtiest in boxing. But there's some in there, but people don't talk about it. Because they do little things like Holyfield was dirty as hell. Holyfield's one of the dirtiest fighters. But he didn't do the dirt. He used he had one form of dirt. And see, some fighters have more than one form of dirt, but he has one form of dirt mostly. For the most part, he had one form of dirt. But some fighters have more than one form. They got low blows, elbows. Like Mike Tyson was dirty. People don't talk about Mike Tyson. Tyson was dirty as hell. Mike Tyson tried to break people's arms off, biting people all in the neck and ears and shit. Get out of here. And he stole his shoulders a lot. You forget about all that shit, huh? Mike Tyson hit people with shoulders, forearms, all the shit. Believe me, he's dirty too. But we got to clean all that part up. It's dirty. Yeah, you're right, Gil Cole. Gil Cole said, he said, Wilder's still in the game. You got dang right, Wilder's still in the game. Then the expert genius right back down there. He said, I want them to look past. Yeah, he said, I want them to look past Wilder. He said, more ammo. That's right, more ammo for Wilder. He said, Deontay will win the trilogy and shut his and shut that 2 fight deal down. That's right, shut that shit down. Then experts right back. He said, if this fight happens, he said they're going to cheat the hell out of Joshua for Fury to win. Yeah, And see, Joshua is just lame enough to get the shit cheated out of him. He's stupid. Even if he knows that this shit happened, he's dumb because he's gonna ask all the wrong questions for opening his mouth because he's too sophisticated. When you too sophisticated like that, you end up being stupid. Yeah. Yeah, Holyfield was on that ram shit, Gil. Yeah, Holyfield was on that ram. Boom. Yeah. Holyfield put that ram butt on you and it's over with. Yeah, Holyfield shaking his head. Yeah, I had to hit him with that ram butt a couple of times because, yeah, I don't know how the fight was going. Yeah, Holyfield would put that ram butt on you, though. Yep. But some fighters have more than, they have a few ways to do dirt. And some fighters can be dirty, but they're just not. Like, they'll just do, like, silly stuff. It's not really dirt, but it's, like, silly. They just, like Sweet Pea used to do. Sweet Pea pull your pants down. Sweet Pea did all kind of stuff. But he just did, like, silly stuff. But he didn't do, like, the dirt, like these guys. And they know it. And then they pretend like they, oh, wow, I did? They don't even realize. Because a lot of times, I'm not, okay, till somebody's defense, not mentioning anybody in specific, but to the defense of some of the dirtiest, the ones you see doing dirt, a lot of times that's already built into their style. Because that's just the way they've been fighting. And nobody corrected it. See? Like leaping forward. You got a lot of fighters that put them up here. They reel and they rock. You got a lot of them that rock. And see, when you're rocking like that, they can't really say this is leading with your head. You see what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, Hopkins was dirty too. Yep. See? Like that. They cannot say that. Lennox Lewis was dirty too. If we're going to name the dirty ones, George Foreman was dirty. I mean, there's a lot of dirty fighters. But that's how they learned. George Foreman, with him being dirty, I think that was more of his style. Because George Foreman just hit anything. He'll hit you in the elbows, arms, neck. It don't matter. He's just trying to decapitate you in the first place. Okay. All you got to do is look back. Look back at George's fight. Look at his final fight in the Olympics. You should have known what was coming. When you seen that fight, you knew it was coming. They just had to stop it, man. And those are only 3-round fights. Those are 3-round fights, and George was just destroying people. He just busted them all up. They still trying to fight, but noses and stuff is all broken and stuff. George just had that kind of, he had a kind of power that he didn't have to land like anything he landed was just heavy. You know what I mean? You're like, God dang, man, I still got to fight this dude. Everything he landing is just like, boom, boom, boom. It's like, it's over with, baby. Yeah. But it wasn't the case just to be on these fighters about their dirt. But the dirt we're talking about when it comes to these two idiots is the dirt. And we got to make sure that is not some kind of deception that they're hitting us with. But the thing is, the dirt that they're doing is the undermining. See? The undermining of Wilder and everybody else. And that's what it is. You guys are undermining with this shit. Oh, Wilder, yeah, if you just forget Wilder. Oh, you got him free. Don't worry, we're going to sign this contract or let's work out even if you're working out details before something happens. Because we always have called that looking past somebody. It's like, are you looking past? And every once in a while they bring that term up. Are you looking past him? Yeah. But I'm going to give all three, Eddie Hearn, Snake, Eddie Hearns, the Snakes. Don't use Hearn here. You guys can't. I don't think you guys can write it because it'll disappear. But anyway, the Snake, the Coke Crack King, and AJ Asswipe, they all get the F from Eagles Web Today. So they all get the F. Y'all get F's because F y'all. That's what y'all get. But we always got to make sure, man, that this ain't a troll move, and we got to make sure this ain't a tramp move. And everybody know that a tramp in Eagles way of boxing is just a championship troll. A championship troll, we call them tramps. That's our new. We always come up with new lingo in here. Yeah, that's right. But Shakur. The Shakur fight was actually a good test. It was a good fight. He does good body work. And this is like this is a quick, critique. Round one, he came out, he got a knockdown, and when they did the replay, they found out they wasn't twisted up. It was just a good knockdown. Why? Because the guy, wasn't it Carbolars? So what happens is he's a leaner. So he's one of them fighters that leans over, and then his footwork is real bad. His footwork is bad to be a person who leans over. And if you're going to be a person that crouches over and leans forward, you have to have a lot more lateral movement this way. You have to be real quick to do that. Sean does that shit. But you can't just lean over, because if you're leaning over like that, you're made to order for a slick boxer like that, because he's going to eat that body in uppercuts and eat that body. Now, because of the awkwardness, because they're both, one traditional and one southpaw, now they did work touching feet a little bit, which is okay. But he didn't. But I like that about Stevenson, is that he did not allow that to bother him. You see what I mean? Okay, D Ray up in there. He said peace to the host in the chat, or peace to D Ray out there. So, what happens when you keep colliding feet? It can allow a person to, take a punch, but it might not even be that heavy a punch. But because you're braced up against somebody's foot, if they hit you the opposite way of where you're braced up, you're going down. Whether your feet is, whether you got, proper foot position there or not. A lot of times you'll just go down. Sometimes they can just move into you a little bit and make you go down. And I'm telling you who's good at that. Is Pacquiao's good as jumping in, because he got that little two-step. When he jump in at you, he'll get you off balance. And see, but what a lot of people don't understand, that's what, a lot of times those knockdowns, because he's not hitting hard like that, oh, he hitting so hard. No. What happened is that when he jumps in between, because what happened, his foot is in between you. And now what that does to you, you have to bring one foot back. And if he's going to work when you're bringing a foot back, guess what happens? You go down. Same exact thing happened to Keith. Because once Manny gets in there, because what happens is your feet get parallel. You can't fight off a parallel, just you're digging in. You know what I mean? If you're in the pocket and you got somebody against the ropes, then you could usually do that without going down. And yes, they're smart enough to get in between you and step out into you. They can step into you with some hooks and then make you go down. See? Depends on their power, depends on the angle. See? But Manny's great at that. But you have to be able to move. And Sean, like I said, Sean will move a little bit, but Sean does all kinds of crazy shit. But just make sure you're moving lateral too. If you're going to be that kind of a crouch over fighter, you're not going to go that far in boxing when you start getting to the more elite fighters. And so that's why the guy had so many problems. And I appreciate Stevenson's body work, because he finally got the guy out of there, and more or less to the body. They said the low blow, they said he hit him low, but that was right. It might have been a half an inch below the thickness of the belt. But that was just a good, nice, hard body shot also. That's a good, nice, hard body shot. So he's looking good. So is he the face, or is he going to be the new face? I can't keep it 100 on that. Because one thing, now, the one thing I didn't like, okay, so working on the body was good. But the one thing I didn't like with a guy that's not that fast, he actually got timed a couple of times. You got timed by a croucher. So if you got timed by a boxer like that, it's going to take a lot more. You're going to take a harder shot. So you're throwing the punch, he's throwing the punch. The only ones that I know that can really do that, and we talked about this before, the ones that can do that, especially like Maul can do that. Maul can do that. In Mail, if they trade, Mail and Maul can do that. If you're trading and your punch lands and their punch lands, their punch is probably going to land harder, especially if they're right after you. And if you do hit them, you're going to be ready to go back and admire your work because you hit them. But that's not, you're going to end up getting your ass knocked out when you go back to admire your work because you hit them. Because the thing about them is when they hit, you feel me, is they hit you back. Like pretty. They got some crack, and so when they hit you back pretty good with a pretty good shot. And so it's gonna be up to your chin. It's not gonna be up to their chin. So, but that's the only thing. I'm not gonna. I gave him a B plus, but I'm not gonna. There's no like be rating them and nothing like that because you know what? No crowd. So that's pretty good. I say B plus because he has to work on that. You can't get timed at the same time, especially with somebody that you shouldn't get timed with. You shouldn't get timed. But at least we got a boxing match back. So we got a couple of this underneath our belt. We had a heavyweight fight. I ain't gonna talk about that one, but we had so we're back in it, man. So now we're back. It's slow. It's gonna be a slow process, but we're getting back in it. We're starting to getting some fights. I mean, we may have to get used to a new way of just looking at boxing, but the way that we talk about boxing is gonna be the same. We're gonna talk bad about you if we have to, and we're gonna talk good about you if we need to. See, it's different. We talk good about you if we need to. We talk bad about you if we have to. So I talk bad about Anthony Joshua and them if they start running him out. And especially old cheating ass Ferry. Well, both of you kind of cheated. Last fight you had, you just turned into a track star running all over the place. Usain Bolt, AJ / Usain Bolt. Come on, man, bring the look back because we need that parallel. The Jack Johnsons, and the reason don't hate or nothing like that. The reason I don't put Joe in there, and this is the reason I don't put Joe there, because the reason I don't put Joe there is because Joe was more of a compliable person. He went out with the whole, he went out with the promotion thing, where he was in the Army, but more or less just doing promotions and stuff, exhibition and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's great for the effort for the guys, for the morale, but who's to say if Ali would have did the same thing that they wouldn't have he wouldn't have been frontliner because they would have put him in the infantry. See, same thing with Jack Johnson. If something was going on right there, they had to get him. You damn right, he would have been out there in the infantry. But I said if I keep those parallel. So if we're going to keep this line going, we're going to keep it lineal. So we're going to have to get us a lineal champ back in there. A real lineal champ. Not just a lineal champ that they say, oh, he's lineal. Because that whole lineal shit, that shit faded out. Because you had too many breaks. And most of the divisions, you got breaks or something stupid. Some stupid shit happened. And you can't keep up with all of them. Some stupid shit happened to where the line was broken. Especially if you retire. So if somebody retired, then more or less, the line is broke right there, right? You can't continue a line if somebody, you see what I mean? Just they retire and come back. That's the only reason. I mean, just the whole idea, the way they have it, because you retire, that's good. I'm lineal champ, boom. You come back and then you lose. Now somebody else is lineal champ. So the line actually breaks. You can't do a line and then have circles, right? So you got a line, then you got open. And then you got another open, then you got another line, then you got open. So the whole thing, their whole concept doesn't really work. But our concept works better when we talk about the lineal because we're talking about events that are lineal. We're talking about like a whole condition of a people that's lineal. We don't just keep it lineal just about boxing, but our whole atmosphere is the line. And Deontay Wilder is that line right now. I know Anthony Joshua. I know somebody threw Anthony Joshua out there. Oh, well, Anthony Joshua, he's with the people, this and that. I don't know. I don't trust him. I don't care if he tried to stand up in England because the people in England, I never heard about them. And, I don't know about their struggle. Does somebody know about their struggle? Was their struggle like the ones was like your foreparents? It might have been some of your parents. It might have been some of your grandparents. It might have been some of your great-grandparents. I don't know because girls have babies so young now. But was the 60s and the 50s and 40s, some of your people was alive then because your ass is here now, right? Was the conditions the same as they are over in England back then? And even now, are they the same? Or even is that a clout chase? So you can't fool me that I don't get fooled that easy in my chat. The people that come mess with me because the difference between people that mess with a lot of chats is people they go for a certain reason and listen now, they'll go because of what you're doing, not because they really like you as much, but they like it for, and they look at it like some stuff is entertaining to people. You know, some dumb shit is entertaining, and some other stuff is entertaining to people. But people, the thing I appreciate, because people that come to mess with me is people that mess with me, people that like to talk adult talk, and they like me. They don't come because we're going to clown all the time, because we don't clown all the time. Because we want to get the serious stuff out, but then, we eventually, once we get back into it, yes, we're going to have a whole chat where everybody's just laughing, of course. But sometimes we got to, spend it and make it, more of a, take more of a serious side. And then, of course, every once in a while, I drop some gems up in here. Just like when I did that parallel right now, if you didn't catch those gems, you just didn't catch them. Because those are things that, those is things that go with our life that a lot of people don't understand that. Boxing might just be it's a micro culture within a big culture, but boxing has had big influences on Americans' life. People that live in America and even around the world had a lot to do with it. But this is my question to you also, though, is it why are the people that's so degraded here so honored and welcome other places? That's something for your own mind. I know the answer to it, but that's something for your own mind, because you got to realize that a lot of places you go, that you're way more welcome. And I just would hope that soon that people will realize who they really are. Because if you're getting the blunt of all the negativity, then there's a reason behind it. That's because you're somebody who you don't know who you are, and that's why they do it. See, I know who I am, so that way they don't do it to me, because I know who I am. And then since I recognize who I am, when I go other places, like I'm going to go up north, like when I go into Canada, they recognize who I am. Not saying I'm something special, but they recognize that they know who I am. When I go see my people up there, they know who I am, as far as the people, far as our nation, our nations. They know who I am when they see me. Oh, okay, that's the eagle face. They know who I am. And it's always wonderful to be appreciated by your people. You don't care about other people as much, but when your people recognize you, then that's what you care about. That's what a man really is here for. Is you got to be recognized by your people, because you're all great, but you just got to find out where your greatness begins, and it shouldn't end right now. So just find out where the beginning of your greatness is, right there. There you go. And then expert, he got some more words down there. He said, "What do you think of that up and coming American heavyweight?" I think his name is Gerard. Yeah. What, he's 4-0, right? Is he 4-0, something like that? He haven't had that many fights, but I'm a back. That's what I try to tell my whole chat, though, expert. Is I tell my whole chat, I said, look at some of these. I gave him I don't remember my list when I talk on these shows, because I usually don't have nothing written down. So I think I gave him a welterweight. I think I might have gave him that. I think I might have gave him that one too. I think that was one of the fighters I gave him. I gave him. It was another fighter too. It's a welterweight. It slips my mind right now. I might have to go back and look at my show myself. But yeah, so a couple of welterweights or something like that. But we have people that's coming up, and yeah, always back up your American fighters, man, because these are the new ones that's coming up. It's gonna take them years. It's gonna take them a while to get up to that status. So you have somebody going out, but that keeps with that line. So you got somebody going out in the parallel. Somebody's right there with them. But we want to look back at their backstory to see, what kind of environment you came from. And why are we still in this same environment, man? We've been in this environment for hundreds and hundreds of years, probably thousands of years. Why does this environment still exist? And then people say that, and then people will say that it's the past. It can't be the past if it still exists. If we're still going through the same thing, it can't be the past. So stop trying to make this the past when it's not the past. It's still the present. But what I don't like right now is this. I got to keep bringing this. I got to keep going back to the subject. Is what I don't like is that it does not seem. It's just not professional for boxing, and it just doesn't seem right. Because you remember when Joe Frazier and them fought, they just fought. Everybody, we're going to fight. Don't worry, I got you next. You next on my licks, man. Don't worry about it. We're going to get this in. There wasn't no running and hiding and ducking because you had to fight everybody. I'm going to just take you back to I'm not going to go to the 60s, but 70s. Damn, how many fighters had to fight in the 70s, man? Ken Norton had to fight. Just think about if these boxers today had to fight those fighters. You got Ken Norton waiting for your ass to fight Joshua and Fury. And if Fury couldn't hurt Ken was going to smash his ass with something. Same thing with, like you probably could outbox, but if you couldn't hurt somebody like Schaefer was coming to do some hard damage. If Lyles, if you couldn't hurt him, he was coming to do some damage to you. Right? Foreman, if you couldn't do nothing with him, but then again, you probably couldn't hurt Foreman anyway. Foreman was just coming for you anyway. Foreman was coming to kill you anyway, so it didn't matter what your boxing skills was like, how much could you take. Frazier was coming to knock your damn head off. And he had a good duck, like he was down there, smoking. Smoke. Hey, Smoke was up and down. Changed up his pattern every once in a while, too. Changed that pattern up, get down. I'm trying to get in that position. And before you know it, left hook time, baby. Left hook. Poop. Sleepy time. Right? But instead of acting stupid, let's get the parallel. Let's parallel and let's get the champs together and let's just get some brawls going. That's what's gonna make boxing exciting. All the hiding and ducking and making up excuses, that's not gonna get boxing where it needs to be at. And that's why I keep bringing it up, because it's like, who is this one that's paralleling this? Because we got to keep this going because a lot of times, see, the champion, the heavyweight boxing champion used to have a whole lot more clout, and used to have a whole lot I didn't put Joe Louis in that parallel, but I will give him this respect right here. Is that people, when he fought Max Melling the last time, guess what? The whole country was behind him. It didn't matter the color, because they was looking at, and even if I can't say if they fooled him or not, but all they were seeing is us against them. It was America against Germany. And he represented America, and everybody was so happy about that win. You see? But who's happy now? Well, I mean, I know we're not at war, but who's happy for Deontay Wilder? I mean, we're happy. But we're boxing fans. We're not fanboys and fangirls. See? But if you guys are going to see this, this is going to resonate. Now, right now, it may not even be hitting y'all as much. But it's going to resonate in, and then you're going to realize, hey, wait a minute. Because boxing, it should be a lot more. This boxing should be a lot more. Because boxing the heavyweight champ does influence the world, believe it or not. And has that could be a whole damn show right there. Has the effect of the heavyweight champion of the world faded when it comes to, the world itself, influencing the world? Is it really influencing the world, or is it just influencing like a couple of countries here and there? Because you're not hearing people talk all over the place. Like Muhammad Ali's name, it was probably on every continent. That somebody knew there was some kind of monument or something, or some kind of attribute given out to Muhammad Ali. See, we're past that, because we're in the thing where, and it's not the money game like people think it is, because I just gave a good example of how we can get this back to being a good money game. But y'all can't get the money if y'all not going to just huddle up and say, look, we the three baddest men on the planet. We're going to settle this and see who is. Go to all the corners of the world and say this. Bring your fights to different places. Don't fight in the United States all the time. Take it somewhere else. So fight in the United States. Fight over in Canada. Fight over in England. Fight over in Russia. Fight down south where nobody's ever done. Fight in South America. Hit all the continents. You know what I mean? Let everybody know this is a big deal. Make a big deal out of it. If you don't make a big deal out of it, then nobody cares. You got to make a big deal out of shit, because we have lost so much grip. People don't even understand how much grip has been lost in boxing. You don't understand that. A lot. And don't you think when you put boxing on a hiatus or something, when you sequester the people or whatever, and you think you're going to come back to being normal? You better wake up and apologize to your own self, because you're lying to your own self if you think it's going to be that way. So the promotion has to be out there, man. The promotion has to be out there, and they got to put them heads together and say, hey, we're going to put these differences aside. I know you cheated. I'm going to F you up next fight, when we fight, but let's get this done. You see? The expert genius said, it's crazy. He said Max and Joe become friends after that. A German and an African American. He said, wouldn't have happened if Joe had been white. He said, shaking my head. Yep. Yeah. Or if Smelling was but I tell you something that, see this, and this is where people make a lot of mistakes, man. As I got a lot of friends, man. I got German friends. I got friends from all over, see. And the thing about it, man, they when they meet me, they don't know nothing about me. They don't know who I am. They don't know my nationality. When they find out, they get all shocked. And because a lot of times they don't see me. Well, it's obvious a lot of times when I'm dressed, then they know who I am. But if I'm not completely dressed, then they don't know who I am. But then they get totally excited and stuff like that. But these people from these countries, man, and that's why you have to do thinking outside the box. You have to think for yourself. Is these people are not the people that they portray a lot of times. These are good people. People are genuinely good, and they will befriend you, and they will treat you like a king when you go certain places. I got some Bosnian friends, and it's funny, man, because they love to see me, man. They can't wait to see me. You know what I mean? And we got a business relationship, but we got a friendship too. You see what I mean? But you get to know these people, man. Don't put yourself inside of a shell, man. Because if you're inside of a shell, you like dark, and you open it up, you see stuff, you're like, this unfamiliar, and then you because when you're in that shell, you take all these ideas with you, and then you open the shell up, oh, it's the same shit out there. No, just find out about it. Because these people will stand up for you and fight on your side too, if you get to know them. Because that's just like I mentioned before when I talked to y'all about the Great White Hype. The Great White Hope. It said the Great White Hope was not a fight. It's not a black and white issue. And people who use the black and white issue, yeah. If you look at the small part of it, then it's black and white. But the black and white is only done for idiots. That's what people, and see, when you go running out there, you're making yourself one of the idiots. They want to see how many idiots they got, because the black and white is only done for idiots. The black and white is actually the hype is done for an agenda. But the black and white, the small picture, is done for idiots. Oh yeah, I hate them black people. I hate them brown people. I hate them red people. See, that's what that's for. It's for the small idiots. For the big people, the money people, it's an agenda. Who's on our side and what, you know what I'm saying? And it's for also to see where your mindset is. It's a check. It's just like giving away around. Just like I said, you give away around. So when they do that, they're giving away around. They're giving information. They're trying to see what you know and what you're going to do. See, are you going to stand up for what's right, or what you going to do? Are you going to believe the hype, or what you going to do? You're going to say, wait a minute, this is end. That's like when I put on my show, I said, this is the end time. It's not no stopping, because anytime you stop, if you drive up to a stop sign, guess what you get to do afterwards? You get to go again. So all this stuff, whether it be made up or whatever, this is the ending of this is now. This ended. It has to end. There is no beginning when there's an end. When there's an end of one thing, if you begin something else, you can't begin the same thing, because that's the end of it. Like the end of an era. When something is ended, that's it. If you stop something, it can start again. But if you end it, that's the end. So we want to end it. I know it sounds like a play on words and something like that. Oh, you play on words or something like that. No, but no. Once it's ended, it's ended. So end all this shit and we start something else. Because everybody else because all the languages already, see, the thing is, even though they're doing this, I know they're losing control because all the languages and stuff are coming together. People talk the same way no matter where you at now. You can be on East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, or whatever. Now people are starting to talk together. And somebody brought that point up in Eaglesware one time. And that's exactly what it is. Because I come from all three, sides. I come from the East Coast, Midwest, and West Coast too. So a lot of times I fit in no matter where I'm at. You know what I mean? And sometimes I might sound more one way than another. And that's because I grew up like that, because That's how my household was. My household was East Coast, Midwest, and West all in one house. So how are you supposed to grow up that way? You know, when your pops is strong East Coast, and then your mom's is strong Midwest, and then the other family is strong West, whatever. So I'm country. I got I know the country way of saying stuff because I hear it. I know the East Coast way of saying stuff because a lot of my words that I say, they don't sound like they're from out here. They don't sound like they're from Midwest. They're from the East because that's what some of the words that I grew up with. The way we said it was one way, so we say certain stuff. Like people don't like certain way. Because even I still don't say milk. I never said milk as a kid ever. And I met this, and my friend, what you call it? I said milk. We call it milk. They never called it milk. I didn't, and I never knew the difference. I didn't know. I say, well, that's the way it's pronounced. I didn't know. I didn't know it was really milk, and I still don't call it milk because it feels weird. I feel like I have to try it. Like I'm making myself say it. You feel? Yep. Expert genius. He said my sister was born in Ramstein, Germany. Is where my dad was stationed over there. There you go, Ramstein. I'm familiar with Ramstein over there. Ramstein had a good boxing program out of Ramstein at one time. Yeah, American boxing program over there. In the army and stuff. Yeah. Old Ramstein. But the people is different, man. And the only way you find out how people are okay, they're not all effed up like you think they are, is you have to have a conversation with them. So you have to talk to these other races and stuff. You got to break it down, man. I have to break stuff down to people all the time because they're not going to see your perspective. See, you just go on living and you don't let them see your perspective. That's whose fault is that? That's your fault. So let them know. Let them get that perspective, man. Don't just let them just think or they're thinking what they want to. Then that's your dumbass fault. Don't let them think what they want to. Break it down. I mean, if you have the means, if you understand yourself, then break it down for them so that way they understand. Because some of them do understand now. You know what they do? They shake their head. They say that's a damn shame the way they're treating these people still after all these years. Because the thing is, you might have fool people over here, but the people that's across these different waters, you don't fool them when they see it. They say, I grew up with that. They said that my parents told me about how America was. And they're still the same way. So America got to clean this shit up. Stop making this like a shithole and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But anyway, B+, Stevenson, good work. Keep it up. You can be the future. But you know me, I don't put nobody up there. But like I said, you can't be the future right now. Manny Pacquiao is the face of boxing. And I'll argue with anybody. I'll debate anybody about that. But he is the face of boxing right now. So, but the rest of y'all, just stop it, man. No 2-fight deals, man. Get your ass in there. Fight. If you're a champ, go fight another champ. And stop all that damn running. Because that's what y'all doing. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know when y'all see the chicken up. Y'all know exactly what time it is, man. Y'all stop running. Get that chicken out your blood and fight, baby. And we're going to get this in. And I know that a lot of y'all have to do what you got to do. I got to get up out of here, man. I'm starting to numb up a little bit. Sitting down. I got 2 cushions, but it ain't enough for Eagle, man. He's still starting to numb up, man. I'm like, wow. But I'm going to get over this nerve problem. I still do my other stuff, though. Like I told y'all, man, my body and everything else move good. But it's that damn leg, man. That damn leg just want to drag along, man. I'm like, man, come on now. Don't be. You take too long, maybe I end up having something permanent. But anyway, you fighters start. We got to get it going again. You guys get in there and get some fights done, man, so we can see what we need to see, man. But anyway, man, y'all know how we do it, man. My shout out to all the real people that I see. My shout out to all y'all that mess with me. Yes, I'm losing my voice again because I still got to get used to this. Man, nothing but blessings. All right, I see you out there too, expert. You take care too, brother. He said, take care, brother. Peace.